This show is clean, pretty much.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 659. Hello, it's Mike Matthews, broadcasting from the last place on Earth, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California. Today we hear from Madame Rootabega, Valentino, Bison Bentley, plus the finale of my Into an interview with Roger Bonsang of the Boston band Bon Saints. And how tall can you make your platform shoes till you're falling down and you're making everyone laugh at you?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I don't know. I didn't find this out personally, but there is a very popular pop artist who did that. Hachu.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I had a sneeze there. And yesterday's show, there was some bizarre concoction that the brewmaster made, and it wasn't to my satisfaction. It was Depeche Mode root beer. It was a little gothic and a little electric, and then I wanted to change my name to Fenric because it just seems like an interesting name, and I decided against
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And we have this interesting thing going on in society where a lot of women have this
Mike's
type of
Daily
anxiety
Podcast.
So they talk with a vocal fry.
Yeah!
Do you know what a vocal fry is? So I'm talking to you now, sort of, I guess I'm kind of a nasally guy, would you say? Yeah, I kind of have a nasally delivery. But, you know, I should be talking from my diaphragm down here and sound like I'm some sort of superhero. But a lot of women talk from way in the back of the throat, and they do kind of a vocal fry thing. And that's like the Kardashians, right? You've heard them talking, I don't know what and they've done studies that say that a lot of the younger women today have been vocal frying like crazy. And I haven't really paid too much attention to this until I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and they were vocal frying all over the place. Okay, they're going to be saying this word called meet me room. A meet me room is where when you're trying to watch Netflix, your internet meets with cable companies. Internet cable companies and different other companies meet in this room. So let's listen for the vocal fry.
No meet me room. No meet me room. Meet me room.
Meet me room. Vocal fry. And even their Australian correspondent has it a little bit.
And they certainly seemed familiar.
It's just a thing going on, I guess, in podcasts these days. But forget about vocal fry. I want to have Milwaukee accent. The big-time Milwaukee accent that Zoe Chase has on this show.
They own a bunch of pipes, and their job is to get the video as fast as possible.
They own a bunch of pipes, and their job is to get the video as fast as possible. No, that doesn't sound real. Dang it. The other thing in my pathetic life that I was observing was Doctor Who had a finale. Last year was the 50th anniversary. And in fact, they made a television movie that had to do with the beginning of Doctor Who, how it was started in 1963. It was done on a shoestring budget. It was done with a cantankerous actor named William Hartnell. And he was going through a lot of stuff in his life. His arteries were hardening. And he, however, in this movie slowly softens. He softens and becomes more of a nice person around all of the people he works with. It's such a loving tale. It's an interesting movie. If you're a Doctor Who fan, the Time Traveler show from England, it's fun to watch this. And it got me thinking, I watched some documentary stuff too about it. And the BBC has no problem with showing kids scary stuff. England is all about, hey, we'll do a show like Doctor Who and have aliens and robots and all kinds of like Twilight Zone-y things going on, and kids will love that. Let's make this for kids. The only rules they have is try to avoid making dolls turn into monsters, because that will really freak kids out. Although they did that recently with an episode where there was a child and his toy chest was coming to life, and all the toys inside were becoming real and people were being transported into this weird parallel reality. Anyway, turned out the kid was an alien, and he duped the parents into thinking they had a kid, and the parents actually couldn't have children, physically produce them. So this alien child becomes their child, and there was a happy ending. I think I explained that okay. Here, meanwhile, in America, we love to just give our kids all kinds of quality shows, like everything on the Disney Channel. Yeesh. And we can't scare our kids. Oh, that's going to scare our kids. Put a PG-13 on that. Have you noticed even that the new Muppet movie is like a PG movie? When has a Muppet movie ever been a PG? That's crazy. I remember going to see the first Muppet movie as a kid with my grandma, and I remember the big G rating sign. But you have heard how the rating system for motion pictures is completely messed up these days. And that needs some serious reforming. But watching this stuff on Doctor Who made me realize, I guess I like Doctor Who because in the beginning it really was a shoestring. We'll make this really imaginative show out of basically nothing. And that's why I liked it. Because this show is somewhat imaginative and it's made out of nothing. And it still contains a lot of residual nothing. Look who just walked in! Hello, Michael Masters, this is Madame Rootabega. And this is my nephew, and he wants to ask you a question. Okay, go ahead. Mike, I wanted to ask you, what do you do with your skin? Your skin seems to be so dry. Here, have you put any money into your face? Have I put any money into I buy sunscreen. I buy shaving cream and shaving devices. I mean, really, have you put anything into your face? Can I show you some of this product? I think you'll... No, that's okay. Thank you. Madame Rootabega, I didn't know that your nephew worked in the mall in one of those kiosks. Yes, I'm very proud of him. Good. Look who else just walked in.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, we can use some of that face product if you don't want it.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Madame Rootabega, it's really great. I didn't even know you had a nephew. I didn't know I had a nephew either, but I met him in the mall. Ah. It was a little reunion, huh? Yes. I don't know. Who are you? I'm Mike Matthews. I host Mike's Daily Podcast. No, the nephew guy.
It appears that he just left there, Madame Rootabega.
Oh, okay. Hey, I think there might be a little bit of that Depeche Mode root beer from yesterday. Anybody want any of it?
Sure, I'll have some day.
I'll have some too, Mike. Here's mud in your eye. Do you know that?
Mike, I think that Bison Bentley has a little vocal fry going on there, too.
You mean he has the vocal fryrus? Oh, does that mean I can host a podcast on NPR too? That totally does. Maybe we should launch The Last Place on Earth and fly to Minnesota so that you can get a better Minnesotan accent. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, I'm pulling down the root beer handle, launching The Last Place on Earth, and we are flying and crash landing in Minnesota, and there we go. So go ahead and talk to somebody, maybe absorb some of that, Minnesotan accent. Okay, Mike. Excuse me, sir. Talk to me so that I can absorb your accent. Do you know that?
Well, hello. This is Garrison Keeler, and I wanted to welcome you to this wonderful place that I call Lake Wobegon, Minnesota.
What are you talking about? That's not a real place. Shut up! Do you know that?
And that's the Writer's Almanac for Saturday or Sunday. What is today? Oh, it.
Great, so we're leaving Minnesota and we're landing back in Podcaster Valley, California, where we have this wonderful accent that sounds a little like this, although I do hear a lot of the Midwestern accents around here from time to time. It's fantastic. It's a nice little mix of all sorts of cultures and accents here in Podcaster Valley, and that's what we really enjoy, is a place like this. Michael Massey, you're starting to sound like Addison Keeler. Stop it! Oh, sorry. Hey, this is a fascinating story that I just found out about. Lady Gaga fell down. She fell down. She celebrated turning 28 yesterday by kicking off her 7-night residency at the Roseland Ballroom in New York. And I wish I could go to that because I would like to party. She left for her after party in a typical Gaga-esque outfit, bearing angel wings and tinsel-like leotard, according to the dailymail.co.uk. She was composed as she, and you can tell this is a British publication, as she tottered along on massive pink platforms. Yes, big pink platform shoes. But suddenly, disaster struck. Later that night, after hours of partying at a small bar in the city, she took a tumble in her massive shoes and was spotted falling to the ground after stumbling on a step. She was spotted trying to get back up, holding onto the doorway, but was hampered by her huge shoes and possibly some of the beverages she was imbibing in. This is not the first time she has fallen. It's kind of what happens when you wear these insanely tall shoes. I mean, they're insane. In 2010, she suffered a humiliating fall in Heathrow Airport. She had squeezed herself into a bizarre mix of thigh-high black leather chaps and platform heel-less boots. However, Gaga, who prides herself on her cutting-edge and outrageous fashion made by her very own design team, House of Gaga, and that's house spelt the German way, House, came crashing down as she lost her balance. Although she tried to steady herself, she still fell because those boots were not made for walking, haha. The 5-time Grammy winner is the final performer to take the stage at Roseland before it is transformed into a 59-story residential tower. And Lady Gaga said it is basically the only room in the city where I haven't played. She said the Manhattan clubs are, quote, where I learned to be bold. I have still yet to go to a Manhattan club, and that's probably why I'm not bold. But be bold and mighty forces will come to your aid. It's an old saying that I don't know who said it, but it's stuck in my brain. One of the only sayings stuck in my brain. That and a stitch in time saves spines. Is that how it goes? Well, you can email me, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com, if you've ever worn insanely high platform shoes, or if you ever listened to a Lady Gaga record and went, or if you ever just breathed. Email me, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. Ooh, and if you got a vocal fry, why don't you record it and send it to me and we'll play it on the show? That'll be fun. Email me, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com, or read your comments on the section Emails from Email. Also email me if you'd like to be a guest on the show, or if you'd like to sponsor the show, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. And yes, there is the website, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com, a phenomenal, wonderful, mystical land where you can go to find links to where to listen to the show in iTunes. Subscribe to us there. Also, there's the Facebook page. Like the Facebook page, and when I post a new show, share it with your friends. More people find out about us that way. There's also links to where to find us on Twitter, Tumblr, Yelp, Mixcloud, Spreaker, SoundCloud. We're on YouTube. And yes, we also have the Amazon deal of the day. Click on that and buy something, and that helps support the show. And there is also the blog and the daily podcast picture at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com.
Into an interview.
We're talking to Roger Bonsang of Bon Saints, and off, I guess we'd say off mic, but we were actually on mic, but because that's the only way we can talk to each other is if I'm on a microphone and you're talking into some kind of microphone device because we're speaking through the phone. Anyway, we were just discussing Peep Show, one of my favorite TV shows from England. And how
Great show.
Roger is also a fan, and but yet he's only seen season 1, so he needs to get up, because that season 1 was done back like in 2004 or something, like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I had just seen the show. Like I said, my brother Keith saw it like probably 6 months ago and told me about it, so I rented it on Netflix. And I've only seen the first season because I'm still doing the disc Netflix, sadly.
But all right, so we're talking about England here. Now, watch me segue. But not talking about England, let's talk about New England and Boston, where you are. And what's it like touring and playing New England and Boston and stuff with your band Bon Saints?
Well, to be honest with you, I mean, me and Keith have only been doing Bon Saints, this music project, for like 4 months.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
We haven't even played out yet, but we've played out as other bands.
So what were some of the names of these other bands that you were in?
Oh, Idiot Box, just slang, obviously, for television, and then Owen was the 2 bands that we were in together.
Owen,
yeah.
Was that any particular Owen?
It was when we were in the band before that, Idiot Box. We were talking about starting an original band, and the former bass player, his father's buddy was at the house, and his name was Owen. And he liked our music. He liked, our band. And we said, well, if we start another band, we'll name the band after you.
I like that name.
So,
I like bands named after like a name, like Travis.
Yeah, I'm a big Travis fan, actually. So.
I can't
but
think
yeah,
of it.
Boston's a great place to play live. I mean, there's so many clubs. It's insane. We played out Friday and Saturday night every weekend for about 5 years, so we had a blast.
Okay, and I just thought of a Travis song.
Cool.
The circle only has one side. That's
it. I'm so glad you sang it.
So that video is awesome, by the way, with all the UFOs. Travis,
I've never seen the video for that.
Yeah, look up.
I have all their albums. I've never seen that video.
Look up Travis and Side, and that's an awesome video. Okay, and then Sing. If you sing.
Another good tune, yep. And they've been in Boston a lot. My brother and I, that's one of the big things we do is go to live shows, and we've seen them a bunch of times.
Oh, man, I'm jealous. Well,
that's the one thing about Boston. Everybody comes here, all the bands come here, so you get to see everybody.
I want to see you guys play.
That'd be great, man. One of these days, definitely. I'll let you know when hopefully when you're in Boston, we'll have a gig.
What other places do you play in New England? Or have you played with Idiot Box and Owen?
Trying to think. I mean, we played all around Faneuil Hall. For the original music, we play at places like TT the Bears, which is in Cambridge, a place called Copperfield, which is in downtown Boston. Pretty much all over Boston. We played in Connecticut and Rhode Island and New Hampshire, Maine, Vermont. We had a gig up at a college in Vermont. So we played all over.
Wow. And it must be nice to... Is New England nice? I've always wanted to go.
It's a great place, man. I mean, especially, during the warm months. You have everything at, disposal. You have the water, you have Boston, the city, then you could go, north and get the mountains in New Hampshire, lakes. I mean, it's a great area. Definitely come here when the weather is good.
And I bet the beer is good.
The beer is good, yes. I'm a big beer fan.
Have you ever had pizza in Mystic?
I haven't. I can't say that I have, no.
I want to go to Mystic and have some pizza and see Julia Roberts. And have you seen that movie, Mystic Pizza?
Oh, yeah.
That looks like it's a fun place. There's a very young Matt Damon is in that movie. Like he has.
Oh, that's right. Yep. Actually, I taught at the school that he went to junior high in. I was an after-school teacher at that school. Him and Ben Affleck actually met there. It was in Cambridge.
Get out!
Swear to God.
Wow, that is fascinating. Oh man, it's all this history surrounding you, Roger Bonsang.
Yeah, I guess so.
And tell me about that photo. Well, I guess we'll include that. We included that as the podcast picture, but it's part of your website, right? Or
cool, yeah. That's it's a real photo of my brother and I. Keith is behind the drums. I've got the guitar. I got a guitar for Christmas that year. He got that drum set, and we didn't know what the hell we were doing, but we ended up, being musicians eventually anyway. So when we were putting the website together, like 3 or 4 months ago, we hadn't done like any kind of photo shoot, and we always loved that picture, and so we used that.
Awesome! I love those old pictures.
Yeah, I do too. Especially you got that grainy and the colors. It's not as sharp as it used to be. I just think it looks cool.
Yeah. I know you can try and simulate it with Instagram, but nothing like that. So tell me about, all right, so you write the music, and your brother writes the lyrics, which is very Bernie Taupin, Elton John, you being the Elton John. I know a couple Elton John songs, but I won't sing them. I'll spare you.
Thank you.
But tell me about the song Built for Two, which you sort of wrote in partner-esque style.
Built for Two. I'm trying to. I mean, again, you'd have to ask him about the lyrics
and the music. But what inspired the music for you?
I try and write, music. Literally, I try and come up with something almost every day. I use a little, tape recorder, and I just come up with ideas. 5 or 6 ideas a day. If I really like something, I'll just keep on working on it. And that was just one of the ones I happened to keep on working on. And that was actually the first song that we started, writing again together, 4 months ago, because we hadn't in a few years. And we started this up again, and that was the first song that we wrote.
So when you say you're writing music every day, you're creating music. Mm-hmm. So when do you usually do that?
My lunch hour, or at night. I have an hour of lunch. I work nearby, so I'll come home and, after I eat, I'll fool around, or then I'll, at night, after supper or whatever, just when you feel like doing it.
That's amazing. So, and you're recording all the stuff you're playing around with?
Yep, I just, put it on a little cassette, and then when I
what?
think something's good,
a cassette?
I put it on a little, literally like the old cassettes, with the tape recorders.
What? Wait.
The microphone tape recorder.
There's wax in my ear or something. Did you say you have a cassette?
I still buy cassettes, yeah, because it is so convenient to record an idea.
A wax factory in my ear. Let me get this wax factory out. And where are you finding cassette? Who's still selling cassettes?
They still sell them at Radio Shack.
Of course, Radio Shack.
Yep. And
Radio Shack has rotary cell phones.
It's one of the most convenient ways to record an idea, though. Rather than turning on your computer and getting your software going and everything, that's ridiculous. You just press play, press play and record, and you're done.
Roger, I want to tell you that I love you. I love you on this level of you being a cassette aficionado. For I am a cassette aficionado. As I will point, I'm pointing now to my huge cassette rack with a bunch of cassettes.
That's awesome.
And I still, in fact, I have a cassette that I made. I don't make cassettes now. I'm so impressed that you make cassettes now. But the most recent cassette I did was like in the early O's, and it was like a mixtape. And there was, this is a Boston band. Blues Traveler's a Boston band, aren't they?
They're not Boston. I don't know if no, they're not Boston.
Oh,
I don't
sorry.
know if they're New England or not.
I don't know why I thought that.
Fish is from Vermont, the Vermont area. I think.
Well, anyway, that Blues Traveler song "Hook" is on this cassette, and I'm bringing that up for no reason other than I was listening to it off of a cassette, and I'm amazed you record. So you like that? If you have an iPhone, it's got like a little recording thing, and the mic is like. It's so easy to record, and it's super clean.
I don't have an iPhone. I have a wicked old school cell phone. I'm pretty low tech. aside from aside from the software for the music, that we record on, I'm pretty low maintenance. Oh my! I am.
Gosh, I'm just so impressed with you.
I want to get a record player too. I'm looking to get another record player and stop buying vinyl again.
I think people should buy Bon Saint's records just because, or your latest album and song, just because you are a champion of the cassette and records and the old analog style. I think you are so impressive.
Thanks, man. I try.
Matt Damon and Ben Affleck would be really impressed, I bet. As soon as they hear this, they're going to be, wow, we're wicked impressed. That's
exactly wicked pissa.
So I need to sit with you for at least an hour and get some of the Boston phrases and the proper way of saying certain words. Because
definitely, man.
I really, when I try and do a Boston accent, I think it comes out more Chicago.
Right. No, I'll teach you, man, before we get here, so people won't make fun of you.
Thank you. Because I think deep down I am Bostonian.
You're Bostonian in your heart.
That's right. Right there. right there in my wicked hat. Hat. I love that. It's like R, the letter R. Screw you, R. We're not going to say you.
I never realized what we sounded like until I saw people from Boston on TV, like, when they do somebody on Cheers that would that was really from Boston. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
We really sound like that.
I personally could care less about the letter R. So I'm more with you guys.
It's overrated.
Really? I mean, even though you have to say the letter R when you say overrated. So overrated. And, I have German relatives, and they have a pisser time trying to say the word R. Oh, my gosh, I'm already using Boston words.
You are, man. See, you're already halfway there.
But, the Spanish language is perfect for rolling the R's, because then the R sounds really romantic and lovely, and it's wonderful. But we could go on and on. Let's just play the song. Built for Two. It's Bond Saints, and you can find them on iTunes, Rhapsody, CD Baby, Amazon, Spotify, and yes, they are on, what was that one? Reverb Nation? No, Bandcamp?
Yes.
Reverb Nation.
Yeah, Bandcamp too, actually.
Bandcamp, all of those. Check them out. Bond Saints, BONSAINTS. And Roger Bonsang, thank you for being on Mike's Daily Podcast.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it.
Come suck my lips, my darling. I'm still bleeding. Nobody said it's gonna last. You're never ever gonna find good reason. Some reason I forgot to laugh. It's a waste of a song. We're not ugly, we're just dumb. When they find you, where they left you, in a coffin built for two, will I fall? Burn, baby, burn, my darling, we won't need them. You be the spark, I'll be the flame. Your mother warned you not to wait forever. These blinded eyes can look away. It's a waste of a song. We're not ugly, we're just dumb. When they find you, where they left you, in a coffin built for two, will I fall? And I can't hear them 'cause I'm not listening, and I can't hardly wait until we stop bleeding from no good reason, and we're not in the way. It's a waste of a song. We're not ugly, we're just dumb. When they find you, where they left you, in a coffin built for two. It's a waste of a song. We're not ugly after all. When they find you,
2 by Bonsang, featuring Roger Bonsang and Keith Bonsang as we go outside of the last place on earth where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California.
And here's today's podcast picture.
The picture today is a drawing of myself and Valentino, the parking attendant.
That's right, Mike. We are discussing Jimmy Fallon Day.
Yeah, we actually appear on his show in the cartoon. And there is a little bit of discussion going on. So Jimmy does these great impressions. He can imitate just about any singer. If you've ever seen him imitating Bruce Springsteen, and then Bruce Springsteen comes out and they're like Bruce Springsteening all over the place. He is amazing how he can do that. But his interview style is sort of like this. He'll have on, let's say, Liam Neeson. Liam, you're great. You're great. Your movies are all great. I love you. You're so funny, man. You're so great. And you're like Irish and everything, and you're tall, and it's amazing what you do, and you're great, and it's just great. I mean, these movies blow me away. They're the best movies I've ever seen. I think they're the best movies that ever existed. I can't believe it, man. It's great. It's just, I'm on television right now. I'm on NBC, and it's the biggest show on TV, and Jay Leno's gone, and he was a great guy. He had a big chin. He was awesome. He was so funny all the time. Funny guy. Jay Leno, the best. And now I'm his host. I'm hosting him instead, and it's I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just all excited. Let's play a game. And then he plays. That's the part that I love the most, are the stuff that goes viral, like where he plays a game with Lindsay Lohan, and they're playing war, and whoever has the lowest card gets water thrown in their face. That's funny. Or the rap off with Justin Timberlake. These are things I am not talented enough to do. But I see his interviewing style has not changed since when he first took over a talk show back, when was that, 2009. And you can see that drawing at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Michael Master, I love the Jimmy Fallon with his spiky hair, with his beautiful supple eyes. Ooh! Wow, you seem to be having a bit of a moment of what do you call that? Horniness? I am stepping away. Vocal fry. Tomorrow it is the return of the much-loved feature, Do You Know Dat? Hey, that's your thing, Bison Bentley. I never say that. Shut up! Do you know that? Oops. Yeah, so we'll have that segment where we'll find some interesting stories that you don't know that about. Plus, we'll hear from Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the Engineer.
Mike, I tried to watch that Doctor Who, but those people on that show, they talk in a different language.
They're speaking in English. You know, we speak English. We don't speak American, we speak English.
Yeah, I can't understand a word they're saying.
Oh. Just turn the subtitles on, the CC, the captioning. That's what I do.
That's lame. I'm not gonna read.
Yeah, if I want to read, I'll take out my magazine. I'm falling behind in my health magazine subscription as it is. Do you know that? You like health magazine too? Yeah, sure. There's beautiful women on the cover and helpful health tips inside. Yeah, absolutely. I enjoy it for the same reasons. Wow, we have finally something in common. Do you know that? I am also stepping away. Fry.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Email Mike now at MIKES-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!
She tottered along on big pink platforms.